Well, that's it for the interior plastics. Now it's time to turn my attention back to the paint. Earlier, I showcased how to perform a traditional car wash using a bucket of soapy water, a garden hose, and a really cool tool called a foam gun. Now, I normally wash my Mustang on the weekends. And if you look at this car, you might go, well, gee whiz, it looks really good. However, once you get up close, you'll notice that it actually has dirt and debris. So traditionally what I do is I wash my car Sunday morning, and then a couple days later, after driving my car, especially down here in Florida where it rains practically every single day, I get a road film, some dust, some dirt, and some grime. And being a car guy with a really nice garage, I like to clean the car up. You know, there's a lot of confusion about all the different types of sprays in the market. You have waterless washes, like I'm going to showcase here. You have detail sprays, spray waxes, and you might be wondering, well, what's the difference? What makes this one different than that? So the difference is that a spray wax is designed to be applied to paint that is clean and dry, that does not have any type of dirt or road film or fingerprints or smudges on it. A spray wax offers the most protection. It's a wax in the form of a spray. Now, a detail spray, what makes that different is it's designed to remove light dust and fingerprint smudges. And the key word there is dust. So I traditionally use a detail spray every Sunday because I'll wash my car in the morning, I'll go to church, I'll run some errands with the family, and then later on that day, so long as it has not rained, at that point I have some fingerprints, some smudges, and just a light layer of dust in the paint. That's when I'll use a detail spray. Now here's the deal. If this vehicle sits outside or if it rains, what happens is that layer of dust then turns into a film of dirt. And that's when a detail spray is not good enough because it doesn't have the lubricity or the cleaners of a waterless wash. So a waterless wash is simple. It's essentially a spray-on, wipe-off, high lubricity formula that safely removes dirt and grime from your vehicle without scratching it. Now, this is not a replacement for a traditional car wash. A traditional car wash is still the preferred product when the car is really dirty. But for that mid-week cleanup, like I perform at my household, a waterless wash is great. Now, with waterless washes, most of them are available in a ready-to-use formula. It's in a spray bottle. You simply spray it on, you wipe it off. However, the fact that I use a lot of waterless wash, I actually prefer to go with the concentrated form. And there's a lot of different rinseless and waterless washes on the market. I like to use the higher end products because they provide a much slicker barrier of protection. Plus, the protection that's in these formulas, it'll last longer and they work much better overall. Now, this is a rinseless wash. Now follow me on this. A rinseless wash can be diluted to a waterless wash. In this particular product, it has a built-in measuring cup. And I like to choose products that have this measuring cup because, you know, these products, they're not really inexpensive, so you want to measure it out properly, which in this case, I have 1 ounce in my container. And since I'm using a concentrate, I can actually use a spray bottle like this, and it puts a much higher output of product, and it saves you a lot of time because you're not sitting there trying to pump with your hand. And you simply pour it in. It's the exact amount that you need. Take your top, put it back on. And you can find pump bottles like this everywhere. I tend to go for the ones that are made in Europe because they last the longest and they're also the highest quality. And then you take it and you pump it up. So this is a pressurized pump sprayer that will give me a much higher output of product because you want that high lubricity layer so the dirt and the grime are encapsulated instead of scratching the paint. And then the microfiber towel is just as important as the product that you use. Don't use cheap towels. What's more expensive than a high quality towel is a new paint job or paying someone to buff out some scratches that you instill. So take your product, and I'm simply going to spray it on the surface. And the high quality sprayers have a tip where you can adjust the output or the spread. And I like to do a real nice fine mist that atomizes on the surface. And again, you want to use a lot of product. Then you take your microfiber towel, and when you perform a waterless wash, you're not rubbing in a circular motion. You're wiping in a straight line with the towel folded 4 ways. So I've got my towel. And as I'm wiping, I'm slightly rolling my hand just a tad. And what happens is that prevents the dirt and the grime from being dug into the surface as I continue to wipe. So I take your towel, and you want to flip your towel off, and I have a big stack of towels here, and the reason why, because you want to have a lot of towels. And you want to get a waterless wash that can be used on all exterior surfaces. So this waterless wash can be used on glass, on chrome, plastic, paint, and everything in between. And then take a second clean microfiber towel, and this is your buffing towel. This is going to buff it to a high gloss, and it removes any excess residue. And you simply repeat that process over the rest of the vehicle, and as your towel becomes fully saturated with product, don't use it any longer. And then you can rotate towels often to ensure that you always have a clean buffing towel and that a clean side to work on for your actual cleaning towel. So I have to finish the rest of the Mustang. Thank you so much for joining us for this episode. Stay tuned for more tips and tricks like this on future episodes. All right. Got to get this car clean.